You have it, ladies and gentlemen, D1 and D10 career analysis for case studies. Okay, we'll do some case studies. Take the charts of real people, imaginary people, and try to dissect how best we can cover this in, 10 parts, 20 parts. I'll take it how much ever I can, just so that we get a clear understanding. Now, what other considerations? I'm cutting it down in this case study series. Only these basic conditions which are listed there. Let's go through them quickly one by one. There can be many combinations, but I'm going through only the basic stuff, the very basic stuff of career analysis from D1 to D10. Okay. So in natal chart or D1 chart, those are the four rules. Number one, ascendant nakshatra and varna of the nakshatra. And we'll do this in the case study, so you will see all of this. Number two, the lord of the ascendant, the nakshatra and the position thereof. Number three, lord of the 10th house, that nakshatra and the position of that planet, whatever the planet is. Number four, exchange of lordship consideration. This is dominant and plays out in many charts as well. Okay, we will see what that means. In D10, what are the considerations? The above four are for natal chart. In D10, number one, ascendant nakshatra, varna, and the angle in the deity. Remember, we spoke of this in the entire 27 nakshatras, right? So, angle and deity we will be seeing actually in the actual charts of real people now. Number two, the lord of the ascendant, nakshatra, position, and angle, and the deity. Okay, we'll have to see all of this and how this plays out, even just considering the ascendant lord, 10th house lord angle itself becomes so complicated. You will see this. Number three, lord of the 10th, nakshatra, position, and angle. You can see between the D1 and D10, the only difference is we have added the angle. Basically, everything else is the same. Exchange of lordship consideration, if at all there is any exchange of lordship going on in the D10 chart as well. Okay, there we go. So this introduction, I will stick it in each one of them. If you're seeing this for the second time or any other case, we just skip this part. Okay. These are the general rules we are considering. I'm not considering any other planets, any other points. Just ascendant, ascendant lord, D1 in the D10 chart, and the 10th house lord nakshatra position in the D1, and in the D10 plus the angle and the deity. Clear? Right, let's get into it. So this is the D1 chart of our life coach, Miss B. Okay. You can see that she has Mrigashira for the ascendant at 2.48 degrees, right? And the lord of the ascendant, let's see that first. Lord of the ascendant being Mercury, right? And Mercury is sitting in the second house in Pushya Nakshatra. Let's see what Pushya Nakshatra brings first. We are just seeing the D1, okay? So Pushya Nakshatra has these qualities, and right there you can see education and training. They may excel in careers relating to education and training. They may thrive as teachers, professors, trainers, or in roles that involve sharing knowledge and guiding others into learning. Keyword. One of the ways she could have landed up in life coach. Another one, closely resembling, not quite, but yeah, life coach is a kind of social work if you look at it. More glamorized form, if you want to call it that, more one on one rather than masses, if you want to call it that. Nevertheless, it is a service. They may have a strong inclination towards social work and service oriented professions. They may excel as social workers, counselors, there's the keyword, volunteers, or in roles that involve making a positive impact on individuals. What does a life coach do, folks? A life coach makes positive impact on people's lives. So Mercury, which is Vaishya, the lord of the ascendant, is sitting in this nakshatra. Right there is a hint for all you people, right? Next, let us see the Lord of the 10th. The Lord of the 10th is Jupiter because she's a Gemini ascendant by natal chart. This suggests that the person's career and financial success using speech and communication. What does a life coach do? Blah, 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 lots of talk. There has to be lots of blah, blah. Are closely linked. They may excel in fields related to counseling, Coaching, finance, banking, investments, or any profession that involves managing resources. In this case, you might call it people's resources, if that's what pleases you, okay? So let us see what the Lord of Ascendant is. Lord of Ascendant is Jupiter. Jupiter itself is wisdom, and it is sitting also in the second house, conjunct Mercury, but Jupiter is at 27.25 degrees in Ashlesha Nakshatra. So let's see what Ashlesha Nakshatra brings to this person. What is Ashlesha Nakshatra? Psychology and counseling. The Lord of the 10th, Jupiter, is a Brahmana and he is sitting in Ashlesha. So he can become about teaching, wisdom. Jupiter is wisdom. Second house is speech. They may have a natural inclination towards psychology and counseling. They may excel as counselors, therapists, psychologists, life coaches, or in roles that involve understanding and guiding others' emotional well being. There, another hint. Hint number 2. The Lord of the 10th in the natal. Another one I could find was human resources and counseling. This is also very closely linked, obviously. They may excel in careers related to human resources and counseling. They may thrive as HR professionals, employee counselors, talent managers. A life coach is all of these in one way or another, obviously, that involve fostering positive work environment and supporting individuals' growth. What do life coaches do? They support individuals' growth, right? Another one, because the Lord of the 10th is in second, what does that give us? This is the Lord of the 10th. I just added this as a more clarity factor, which was not there in the first case study, right? Second house. If the Lord of the 10th is in the second house, let it be D1, let it be D10. These are common factors. Okay, you can screenshot this if you want. Financial success through career. This is one of the things it looks for. Career closely linked to financial success. So, in a way, Lord of 10th in second will be looking for always some degree of financial success. And Jupiter expands any house it touches. So, this person will do well and will gain a lot of money being a life coach. And she is doing very well. I knew her last time I checked with her. She was doing very well in her career. They value reputation and status. They may link their reputation and public image with their financial worth because second house is value system also. Last is the most interesting thing that she is actually doing. Earning through communication. Depending on other factors in the chart, these individuals may earn their income through communication related professions such as public speaking, writing, sales, or marketing. Well, she has to market herself. She's an entrepreneur. She's working in sort of a team with other people. And she does a lot of speaking, although not public speaking. This is individual counseling. And this is Jupiter in Ashlesha. We already saw Ashlesha, right? Next, what other factor could be there? Her ascendant is in Mrigashira, right? And we will go back to the main chart before I come to this. There is a exchange of lordship. Let me see how we are doing on the processor if we are fine with it. I think I'll pause and come back here. So the exchange of lordship, where is it happening? It's happening between our first house and second house. First house is Gemini ruled by Mercury. It's gone to the second house. Second house ruler Cancer is Moon, which has come to the first house, is in 0.39 degrees of Cancer. Sorry, in Mrigashira. Moon is also sitting in Mrigashira. Moon in the first house in Mrigashira will make a person good looking. She's very good looking, by the way, just on the side. So, their Moon and Mercury have an exchange of lordship between the first and the second house. What does this tell us? Adaptable self expression. They are adaptable in their self expression, making them effective communicators in various social contexts. Isn't that important for a life coach? They can easily switch between rational and emotional modes of expression. Rational being Mercury, Moon being emotional. Nurturing through communications. They may use communication skills with emotional intelligence to nurture and support the individual. The 101 life coach, folks. This is the chart of a life coach. Her destiny was meant to be life coach, right? And we are still in D1. Let's see the D10 gets better. Potential career paths could include fields related to writing, journalism, speaking. Writing is more like third house, I would say. Counseling, finance, business management. Counseling comes again. Counseling came in Ashlesha. Counseling came in Mrigashira. Counseling came in Pushya due to their adaptability and communication skill. The exchange of lordship between first and second should automatically tell you it's all about head being occupied with intelligence going into the direction of speaking, and it's feeding one another. The exchange of lordship typically gives the good qualities of both the planets which are making the exchange. Okay, just keep this as a general rule. Now let's head back to the Mrigashira Nakshatra because her ascendant is in Mrigashira at 2.48. Her moon is also in Mrigashira in 2.48. So there's a dominance of Mrigashira. And after that, we will jump into D10 and see where this is amplified. So her D1 ascendant is Mrigashira Nakshatra and moon is also there. So first of all, she's a very emotional person, can have mood swings, etc. But we are now talking about career only. I have circled two there, right? Research and analysis. The qualities of Mrigashira with respect to career. So first one being research and analysis. Why? Well, life path is you're uncovering the life and the attitudes, the personality, mind, emotions, the makeup of another human being. So obviously you need to have a research bent of mind. You're researching literally another person's life. May have a natural talent for research and analysis. They may excel as scientists, researchers, etc. This is a generic term, but now we have to apply specifically about why she turned out to be a life coach and a very successful one at that. Next one I have circled there is counseling and therapy. Again, they may have natural inclination towards counseling and therapy. She does. They may excel as counselors, therapists, psychologists, or in roles that involve helping people's emotional and well being. What else is a life coach? This is just D1. We saw the lordship of the first house, 10th house, where they sit, which nakshatra they sit in D1. Now let's get into D10. So, our D10 chart looks something like this. Ascendant is in Punarvasu at 28.03 degrees. The Lord of the Ascendant is in the Ascendant in Punarvasu. Mercury is sitting in 29.55 degrees. So her Ascendant in D1 is also Gemini, D10 is also Gemini, just to be clear. Mercury is also sitting in Punarvasu, and the Lord of the Ascendant as well as Ascendant itself is in Punarvasu. Remember D10, the rules? First, you got to see the angle and the archetypes, the deities. 28.03 means she is in the Ananta angle, stability, long lasting success, thought revolutionaries. You have to have a revolutionary way of thinking if you want to be somebody's life coach, folks. This is necessary. You need to be in the last three angles. Before this, there's another one, Vayu angle also, right? The Vayu, Ishana, or the Ananta angle. These three angles are dominant if you want to do any kind of coaching, if you ask me. Otherwise, don't take them as coach. They're just pretentious people, okay? Not everybody who has a certificate in hand is a coach. It's my opinion. She has 27 to 30 degrees. She is a thought revolutionary. She can, by default, think out of the box. Now let us see Punarvasu Nakshatra because there is a dominance of the Lord of the Ascendant as well as the Ascendant being in Punarvasu. Punarvasu is very strong here, obviously. So let us see how this affects her career path as a life coach. Okay, there you go. So there's Punarvasu. What are the qualities of Punarvasu? Because D10 Ascendant plus Lord of the D10 Ascendant both are sitting in Punarvasu. Teaching and education. I have circled two out of this lot. Teaching and education. A life coach is a teacher, is a guru. May not be somebody with garlands and bells and whistles, but it's more of a practical life coach, how to survive circa 21st century, how to be in your relationships, in your marriage, in your career. There's so many life coaches, all areas really. Teaching and education. They may excel in careers related to teaching and education, thrive as teachers, professors, trainers. Okay, you can say it is teacher plus a trainer, life coach. This is the way you got to think, folks. Counseling and therapy. They may have a natural inclination towards counseling and therapy. They may excel as counselors, therapists, coaches. Right in the ascendant of D1 and the angle itself, you have it. But let's go a step further. Okay. Let us analyze this a little bit more. Now, let us kill this and let us see the Lord of the 10th. Lord of the 10th, in her case being Jupiter, is sitting in the 7th house. Okay, and where is it sitting? It is sitting in Moola Nakshatra. Moola by default wants to dig deep. And Jupiter wants to seek wisdom that is deeply buried in others because 7th house is the house of Libra, is the house of others. They want to do everything in others. Okay, so let's see what house 10th Lord, when it comes to the 7th house, what are the general characteristics? Is there something there? Okay. Career in collaboration. Actually, she even collaborates a lot. I have seen even her Facebook page, right? She collaborates a lot with other coaches. She does seminars. She does n number of things. Career that involves partnerships and collaborations, business partnerships. Yes, she has this. Diplomatic and negotiation skills. Why is that? Why is negotiation important in life coaching? First of all, it's 7th house, house of Libra. It's all about diplomacy. It's all about negotiation. And you have to be kind of soft in your approach. You can't take a hardball stance when you're a life coach, please. You'll never have any clients that way. So they are diplomatic in their approach. This is necessary. Careers in law or counseling professions. Once again, we see these people can do in law, in mediation, counseling, or any field that involves conflict resolution and interpersonal dynamics. Both of these are highlights of any coach, let it be business coach, executive coach, life coach. They need these two bottom line. Conflict resolution. Why do people come to you as a life coach? They are conflicted in their head. They are conflicted between their mind and their heart. They are conflicted maybe in a number of ways. Life coach is about a personal state, right? They're not a business coach. She is a life coach. Interpersonal dynamics. How do you relate to other people? Life coach needs to be able to guide the person for that. And Jupiter sitting in Moola in the 7th house for her. Let's see that once again. There. See? And it is sitting in the Agni angle 4.15 degrees. Strong work ethic, ability to overcome challenges, determination, inspirational, passionate, creative. Hey, all this stuff is needed if the person wants to become a successful life coach, yes? Lord of the 10th in the 7th. I have put that already, right? Last, let us look at Moola Nakshatra itself because her Jupiter is sitting in Moola. There's Moola Nakshatra for you. First two itself tells me loudly that it's about life coach because it's a combination of traits. Look at the combination of traits when you're analyzing your chart, okay? Spiritual and philosophical pursuits. Isn't life coach a somewhat spiritual, quasi spiritual kind of approach? They may excel in spiritual or philosophical fields. They may thrive as spiritual teachers, gurus, philosophers, astrologers. Incidentally, she's interested in astrology also. She came to me with her chart. So, research and analysis, they may excel in research oriented professions. They may thrive as scientists, investigators, researchers, because these two qualities Jupiter takes on as the Lord of the 10th. So, the Lord of the 10th, whichever nakshatra it is sitting in, it will have the color of that particular nakshatra. It will take that these qualities to her profession. She is a part of our spiritual group. That's how I met her in the first place. She is interested in astrology. She is interested in investigation. Tell me why this works like this. Tell me why this. Tell me why that. They want to dig deep and really understand intellectually. She's a highly powerfully intellectual, strong person. That's what made her a life coach. Okay. So I'll leave you with this one. In the next one, we shall take more up of different profession. Let me address another different profession if I can find one. Okay. Meantime, take care, be safe. Thank you for all your likes, shares, and subscribes.